The Independent Commission investigating the Lewiston mass shooting is holding 2 more public meetings. The first is scheduled for Thursday at 9 a.m. at the Farber Forum inside Jewett Auditorium at the University of Maine at Augusta. The commission will continue to hear from members of the U.S. Army Reserve. The commission also expects to hear from the Director of Victim Witness Services and Maine State Police. That meeting is weather permitting. The second meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 11th in the same location. The commission expects to take additional testimony from members of the U.S. Army Reserves, victims, and members of the Medical Examiner's Office.